the one with the race car bed is a very iconic Friends episode. This is the 7th episode of the 3rd season, and as always, I will go through various things that I liked, point out anything that I didn't like, but there isn't anything in this episode that I didn't enjoy. So there will be spoilers from this point on. And the main narrative focuses on the fact that Janice's husband, soon to be ex-husband, is the Mattress King. And perhaps against their better judgment, Monica and Phoebe go down to this mattress store to try out new beds, new mattresses, and Monica orders a mattress. And unfortunately, people weren't paying attention, mainly Phoebe and Joey, and the race car bed was delivered by mistake. And it's such an iconic design. I feel like this race car bed is available from anywhere that sells beds. At least it used to be. I'm not sure if that's still the case. And I can't look at that bed anywhere without thinking of this episode, which is a great thing. It's really effective. And well, I'll come back to what happens with that part of the narrative in a moment. It is a spoiler. I know I said spoilers, but just in case you don't want to know exactly what happens at the end, I'll save that for the end. We also have a story involving Joey. Joey has a job teaching soap opera acting, and he gives some pretty great tips, and it's a pretty educational, informative part of the episode. Unfortunately, things are morally questionable when one of his students is up for a part that Joey definitely wanted, and he gives the student what he thinks is some bad advice. And I often wonder whenever I see this episode if that kind of thing happens in the real world. I'd like to think it doesn't, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if it did. I love seeing Joey teaching. It's not very often that we see Joey in a role where he's the authority figure, where he's the one in charge, he's the knowledgeable one, he's bestowing this wisdom. It's not often we see Joey like that. So I think it's really great to show that actually Joey can be in that position, and Joey does have a wealth of knowledge and skills and experience. We don't often see it, but it is there, and I think that's quite a nice thing to do for the character. The other part of the episode focuses on the fact that Ross and Rachel are going to dinner with Rachel's father. We have, of course, Dr. Greene, played by Ron Leibman, and he calls Ross wethead, which always amuses me. And there's the issue with tipping, and well, Ross and Rachel's father don't exactly get along very well, despite Ross's best efforts. But where that episode went, or that part of the episode went, with Ross and Dr. Greene finally finding something to bond over, making fun of Rachel, I thought was very funny, but in real life, I feel like that would be really awkward. You should never bond with your in-laws or prospective in-laws by making fun of the son or daughter, and it's a bit awkward. But in terms of the episode, it's very funny and very, very well done. And then, of course, we have the ending, so I'll explain now what happens in the last few seconds. And we end on a bit of a cliffhanger because they go down to the mattress stall to try and get this bed returned, and Joey storms through to speak to the Mattress King, and he sees Janice making out with the Mattress King, her soon-to-be ex-husband, and we end there. And it's quite dramatic. We don't often end Friends on a cliffhanger where things are just uncertain and tense and dramatic. And if I know what happens, but if I was watching this for the first time, I would absolutely need to immediately watch the next episode. And I can only imagine the agony of watching this on broadcast, waiting a week, or maybe longer, depending on when exactly this aired, for the next episode. It's a brilliant episode. There are a lot of iconic things in the one with the race car bed. Very funny, very enjoyable, and I'm sure an episode that I will always enjoy watching.